Bill Kollar, Montana State.
Behind every J.J. Watt, every great player is a great position coach. And in Houston, that is Bill Kollar. 24 of his 25 seasons on an NFL sideline, Kollar has coached the defensive line. During his first 2 years with the Texans, Kollar directed the defensive line to the 2 best run-stopping seasons in club history. The defensive unit registered at least 30 sacks, 3 consecutive seasons, another franchise record. Before coaching the Texans, he coached with the Falcons, Rams, and Bills, with early stops at Illinois and Purdue. Tonight, we honor him as a player and a coach.
And the money's a little bit different now than it was back when I came out back in 1974. It sounded like 40 years ago. So we used to end up making money a little different way back then, you know, during the off season and stuff. So I'm at home one day and one of the PR people calls and says, "Hey, how'd you like to end up going to take a picture with a bear downtown? You get $50. And I said, take a picture with, yeah, you just go down and take a picture with a bear, they'll give you $50. I said, oh, shit, that sounds pretty good. So I go downtown, you know, and I get down and there's probably 50 people there, you know, and, you know, I walk in and I said, what's going on? They said, well, somebody's going to wrestle the bear. I said, what? They said, somebody's going to wrestle a bear. I said, I wonder who the heck's going to end up doing that. So I sort of walk over, hey, yeah, glad to see you, know, meet him and stuff. And there's a little carpet about 4 feet by 4 feet, just a little tiny thing, you know. And I go over and the guy says, well, you ready? And I said, for what? He said, to wrestle. I said, they told me I was going to take a picture. They said, no, we want you to end up wrestling the bear. So I said, okay. So they said, just stay in tight with it. You'll be all right. It won't be a problem. So I start going and I lock up, and I used to wrestle, so I take one little step back and the bear just tackles me, right? And it gets on top and I'm over here kicking and stuff, you know, and it's on TV. I'm thinking, holy Christ, this looks bad, right? So they get the bear off of me and I get back up, you know, and I said, okay, so they tie us up again and I just bolted, right? I just went and put it over backwards. I'm on top of it now, right? And everybody went nuts. And I said, okay. And this bear was, I don't know, probably 7 feet. And I told the guy, I said, oh, I know how to do it now. He said, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to Columbus next week. We got a Kodiak coming in. Would you like to wrestle him? He's 10 feet tall. I said, no, I think I'll end up passing on that. But, I mean, nowadays, these guys, they end up walking across the street, they get $1,000. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's a little different nowadays than it was back then.